just very quickly. So anyway, we just chill lah. We
Yeah,
got
yeah,
chill
just chill,
conversation.
yeah.
I didn't prepare anything, so
It's good that you don't prepare.
Yeah.
I have a list of questions. Usually what happens is I'll try to follow it, but whenever we catch on a certain topic that is interesting, then we just
Sure.
we spend more time on
Better
it.
Can.
Yeah. And because it's obviously recorded, so if you regret saying anything, you can edit it later.
Cut.
Yeah.
Can I put the AI voiceover?
Hey everyone, before we begin this next episode of the Hello Mentor podcast, I just want to say if you're job searching or hiring, check out hiredly.com. We are not just another job platform. We make it easier to find the jobs that people actually want, and we help companies stand out to hire the right talent. So there's a lot of smart tech and there's a lot of human touch. That's Hiredly. So you can head to hiredly.com and give it a go. Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Hello Mentor podcast. We have Khristie and Michelle with us today.
Hello, hi. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I mean, we had a chat before this started. Do I introduce you as from Influasia, or are you more famous for being from World of Buzz? Or which one?
Okay, I mean, can just introduce us from Influasia. So Influasia is our parent company that operates like World of Buzz, Lobak Merah, Noodou, which is our media platforms.
I think it's just different across different audiences lah. So some people might know World of Buzz or Lobak Merah or both.
Right.
Sense.
A lot of
Depends
Chinese
on-
is Noodou.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we are actually a digital agency as well. I mean, we are a digital publisher and also a digital agency. So we do provide like, client servicing services as well.
I see.
Yeah,
Right.
managing their Facebook pages, media buys, planning and whatnot, influencer marketing as well.
Right. I suppose you evolve into this.
Yeah, very natural progression.
Yeah, natural
almost, yeah.
progression.
Right.
Yeah.
But you started as World of Buzz. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why everyone calls us anyway. Hey, you are that World Buzz person.
Yeah.
You are the World.
Buzz or World of Buzz.
Yeah, we don't have names.
I know you. You are the World of
right.
and I obviously I read some of the stories online, but maybe you can share with us again. Like you started it over a conversation in like a mamak or something like that. Is it? Like how did it begin?
Oh, wow. And this one I have to give credit to her because I think she was the one that brought it up. Yeah. At the point in time, like, I was mainly like a
Serial entrepreneur.
serial entrepreneur, more like also like a tech web developer. Yeah, so I'm more technical in that sense. So I built a lot of websites, not just like World of Buzz at the point in time. We were doing like
Events.
event classifieds, like event platform, event ticketing and whatnot back then as well. We have some review sites as well for affiliates.
Interesting.
And one day we decided to. I mean, we always cheer mamak lah. Back then, no money, right?
Student life.
Student life, yeah.
So this was when you were a student. You
she was a student.
I was a student. I think he just started working.
Yeah, so I just started working, right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
so-
when we decided to, just have a casual discussion and, for one particular night, just evolve from there.
Right.
Yeah, because I think usually from time to time we'll talk about businesses that we can build together. So hence why we came up with the event classifieds in the first place. But it took, because we don't have money, right? No capital. So we had to go through a freelancer to build it. And of course, if it's for a freelancer and its budget, it's a very, very tedious process for us. It took over 1 year. It's still not done.
Yeah.
So at that point, we were still building the event classifieds. But before it was launched, we decided to jump into publications.
Yeah,
Already.
yeah. I mean, we're doing like multiple stuff simultaneously at the point of time. So we are juggling amongst the few.
Right.
And the event was actually one of our main one at the point of time. But eventually, it kind of take over, like World of Buzz eventually kind of supersede the whole project that we were doing. Like.
Right.
Yeah, when we were talking about it, is because we were thinking, what did Malaysians require at that point in time? I think digital was still new. In terms of reading news, reading stories, reading experiences, we always read like Thought Catalog. Back then also BuzzFeed was coming out, Mashables. A lot of international US ones lah, but we don't see a lot of it in Malaysia. So that's why we wanted to start it, because we were millennials at that time. So we thought we should have a publication for the voice of millennials on the topic that millennials actually want.
Oh, right.
And also like the packaging of the voice of the platform. I think that's what makes a little bit of difference, because back then I think like 10 years ago, everyone's still reading news.
Newspaper.
Yeah, news in the hard style kind of way, like, 12th of July, whatever. da, 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 da. Yeah, so it's not like, it's not like a friend telling you a story kind of thing. So we're trying to be position ourselves in that particular angle, which we feel that, there's a gap over there, because everyone's still presenting the stuff very formally.
Right.
And look at where we are now. Now everyone's like, even like, some of the mainstream media are also, doing the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, publishing cat news and stuff.
Right. And it was the time where like BuzzFeed was like getting very popular.
Ah,
And suddenly
yes.
everyone saw, actually media can be very different.
Yes, exactly. I think back then a lot of people's perspective was traditional media is the type of media you consume. But obviously as millennials, we don't buy newspaper. We don't read anything on what's going on newspaper. We usually maybe see someone's posting that went viral. You can't really even find any news on the internet on that time by that time. So because of those, we started it, but we did start a lot on listicles, a lot of recommendation, like where to go, what to eat.
Right.
In
You
that
try different things.
Yeah,
We started that. And then we found more gaps in the storytelling side of news and social news. Then we started covering those more.
I see. But did you eventually launch that event matching?
No.
You never launched
This is
it?
archived.
We kind of like, talk about it, like,
Last year.
here and there. It's like, what happened to the one that we built?
Did they launch it now?
Maybe it's a good time, right?
We still find a gap, but maybe next time.
maybe. Yeah. I mean, we were so happy to kind of like, design the logo. We put a lot of heart and effort into it, because we manually, kind of draw it out, sketch it out, and, kind of bring the logo to life. And back then it wasn't so simple, right? Yeah, so simple as to like, nowadays you can just describe to AI and it come out like, a logo, right? Then you really have to sketch and kind of like digitize that sketch. And then like paint it over. Yeah, so that was quite fun.
How interesting. So basically, like you got a freelancer to build it, but you never got to launch. But then you launched World of Buzz first.
Unfortunately,
Right.
But I guess it's, I don't know, it could be a good thing that we double down on, World of Buzz, because we do see that, there's traction. Then, eventually made our decision to kind of change, pivot towards World of
And now
Buzz.
social media is so huge also, so it was a good time also to go into it. So
I see. Right. What so how did you manage to launch World of Buzz first? Like, wasn't also like a digital platform in some sense?
Yes, it is. I mean, for us, basically, I think we complement each other fairly well. Not fairly well. Very well. Sorry, let me take that back. Because she's mostly on the editorial side and I'm more on the technical back end kind of side, right? So, I mean, after the discussion, then we decided like, okay, why not we just, give it a try. We didn't know it will kind of like work out.
yeah, we even thought it was gonna be like a side income kind of thing, a passive income from Google Ads. So we actually didn't think it was gonna be so big, to be honest.
Yeah.
We thought
And-
it's like you're gonna do full time job, like okay, got side income, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And Google Ads doesn't really pay you. So that was kind of like a silly thought we had.
But eventually, because we tried it out, like I said, I also personally quite like reading a lot of things. We started covering a lot of, again, like a listicles, where you should go. Back then also shisha was a thing. Which shisha should you go? Which cafe hopping was a thing. So we covered a lot of these things, and we were very excited to see a lot of people actually sharing those lists. And from there, we also got to know a lot of people, because we also sometimes feature celebrities or artists from time to time to showcase, Malaysian brands as well. So yeah, that picked up a lot from there. And then I guess one of the days, actually an inquiry came in for advertising. Then we only realized, oh, damn, this is actually a revenue stream that we can actually explore into and go into full time.
Oh, I see. So you basically got like an inbound.
How to advertise that. We also don't know how to segregate at that point of time.
We weren't incorporated. We really was everything from home. So it really was like a side gig thing.
Yeah, it's like a
before we
side
thought
gig.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
serious.
until we really see like, friends of friends are sharing
Sharing it, yeah.
even without us telling them to share. So that's when we kind of know that, oh, maybe, there's something over here that we can, put our effort to.
Yeah.
I find it so interesting because that is also quite similar to how we started.
Okay.
Yeah, it was also a side project. And in fact, I didn't even think of it as like some tech startup. It was just like, internet-based business.
Yeah.
The old
Yeah.
one, the old school.
Yeah.
Register for SSM.
Internet-based maybe can make some income, and then for some reason it just grew into what it is today.
Wow, welcome to the team. We are here
So
now.
besides the name similarity, our growing up
The
as a
origin
business-
story.
Yeah, the origin
lots of
story.
similarities,
Correct.
So when that first advertiser came into, like suddenly you feel like you might have something here, is it?
Yeah, I think when it first came in, we did not see it very big at first. We thought it was something we could explore. And then after we did one campaign with them, then there were more coming in. Some small agencies also started looking for us, buying like 2 to 3 articles at one. Then we kind of realized it was something that we could explore into it even deeper. Lah.
Yeah.
I mean, back then it was so cheap, right?
Yeah, back then so cheap. Yeah. Now looking
We
back,
don't
it
even
was
know what rates to put because
Yeah. Depends on our mood. I feel like today 100. Okay.
nah, lah. I mean, back then
Kidding,
the
I'm kidding.
agencies were like, okay, they squeeze you a little bit because these are small agencies as well. So we can't really determine what the rate is because we don't know the market rate as well. I think we were one of the first publications there, so you cannot. There's no rates to compare fully lah. There were quite a few, I think. Yeah, but we weren't in the industry so much that we knew these are competitors, and we were able to kind of compare.
Did you get this feeling that you trying not to price yourself too high in case you lose
Yeah.
visitors or something?
I mean,
That's always the thought lah.
yeah, so we let the agency kind of dictate. They say, okay, this is the price. You okay or not? And we're like, okay, sure.
Oh, right. So that's how
We
like
kind of like test the water here and there, like we
Right.
meet with different agencies, and sometimes we set a little bit high, then they will say like, no, it's too high. So it's about negotiating and kind of identifying like the sweet spot to kind of price our services.
Yeah, and I think back then even agencies maybe they had the trouble because digital media was still quite new. So I think we also experienced a lot of pushback from some of the brands. They say like, why should I advertise on your site when I can advertise on the newspaper? You know, so there was also a lot of education that digital was a new thing, and yeah, a lot of this back and forth lah. We had to face.
right. Interesting. And who were your competitors in those early days? Was it the newspapers? Do you see them as the competitors?
I don't think
Not really. Yeah. We don't really see this. I think it's like just another channel, right? Like billboards and newspaper, and like we have content. I think each of them serve a very different kind of audience and purpose. Yeah, like newspaper, of course, maybe you get like the older crowd. Like how we used to. Yeah, how we used to advocate for our digital platforms is we always, inform like the client it's an evergreen thing. It's gonna be there forever. Like if you publish it in newspaper, I mean it'd be there forever, but only for the issue. But
people used to write nasi lemak afterwards.
correct.
So for that.
Yeah. So it's everything. Like in the future, like someone search for like like 5 places to go to eat over here, and maybe one of the advertisers, one of the F&B outlets, right? So that's that persistence in terms of the content being there.
Oh, it's true, right? I mean, even today, like stuff that's written about anyone, searching is still there. Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I actually, so I'm super curious because I obviously interviewed many different entrepreneurs. I find that not everyone, as they grow up suddenly thinks that I want to start something. Not everyone thinks like that. But it sounds like even at the very young age, you're like, I want to start this, I want to try this, I try that. So did this come from any particular moment in your childhood? Maybe like were you I don't know. This is a very open-ended question.
Childhood trauma. Let me get into that. Kidding. I guess for me, my family in particular, everyone's very independent, and everyone actually, for me, everyone in my family, even my sister, is doing their own thing. Yeah, so they have their own business. My mom does skincare, my sister does like, e-commerce, and, I was trying to find where my ground is.
Oh, right.
So eventually, I guess now you're here.
Were they naturally like an entrepreneurial? Was it an entrepreneurial family? Were they all doing their own thing?
They are doing their own thing, but they don't encourage entrepreneurship. So that's the weird thing. So my mom is always like, oh, I think you stick to your job better. I think it's more stable. So it's like, why this online business can earn money?
I think the crazy thing, even though we incorporated our company and was very profitable for the first 2 years,
She still didn't know what I was doing. She was like, I was thinking maybe I was doing something bad in the internet or something.
she was still thinking,
Yeah.
maybe because it's not physical, so they don't actually see
They
it.
can't understand the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also maybe because she's on the older generation and it wasn't so as popular back then. Yeah, but until it gets to a point where her friends started talking about it, then, she gets oh, okay. I kind of see what you're doing.
You know how boomers are. They won't listen to the kids, but they listen to the aunties. and
yeah,
uncles.
Yeah, the older generation have to listen to like, their own friends. If you tell them something, they won't listen. It's like, no lah, it's not the case.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we
that's,
love them. lah.
yeah, we love them. Like, bittersweet relationship. But yeah, I mean, that's how my family is, and that's how I actually get myself to push a little bit harder lah. So I think it's just really outlasting their perception about whether you can do something by yourself or does this really generate any sort of income.
Right. So it sounds like you were raised like a free child, like a kid, right? When I say free child, what I mean by that is, there are some people where their upbringing is like their parents are, very driven academically. Like, I want you to study, get straight A's, and there's some where they're like, you do what you want, like that.
Yours was also.
Wouldn't really call myself a free child. I think they have certain expectation because like during like Chinese New Year, it's like, oh, see your cousin here, wow, she earned like 30,000 doing sales, being a beautician and everything. There's like, okay, cool, that's her, right? Yeah, so I mean, I guess in the older generation, there's a lot of like comparison, like oh, my child is doing this, my son is doing this, and then there's that a feeling of wanting to kind of be on top.
Maybe that driven him actually.
Yeah, maybe that's a
compared to,
Wrong.
But not, I suppose, not academically, you're not.
Not really
study hard.
academically. Not really on that sense, but more towards like I guess following the normal structure of life, like get a good job, find a beautiful and good wife. Maybe not beautiful, they didn't put it that well. Find a good wife.
That's his own words.
Right. No, it's interesting because I think one thing also, obviously when a lot of the people who listen to this podcast, they tend to be young and all that, right? And some of them maybe still studying or just finished studying, and I also find it quite important to share people. If you get great grades, great. Don't have great grades, also fine. There are different paths you can find.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's completely true. I don't think like academically it kind of would dictate how you end up in life.
Right. Yeah. How about you, Michelle? How did you grow up?
I grew up as a good child, I think.
Good child. What is a good child?
Typical Asian parenting.
Typical Asian parenting.
Sent for piano.
We went to piano, went to ballet, went to gymnastics. Need to be like role model. Need to get good grades. Yeah, and then I think, till now I'm always a rule follower also, this kind of thing. But then I think, as you mentioned, it's the grades isn't everything because I'm part of the Asians who grew up with chasing grades and went to university and suffering for your academic. But then when I went to university, that's when I met him as well. And then while studying, I'm also doing this on the side. So even if you get A's, I think it's okay. Even if you don't get A's, it's fine. There might be another path for you because eventually what I studied wasn't what I'm doing anyway. So, and I feel like as long as you do the effort to really succeed in what you're doing at the time, then everything, where there's a will, there's a way, basically.
All right. It's interesting you describe yourself as a rule follower. That's not the vibe or the sense I'm getting
Right.
as a personality.
As a personality.
Yeah.
That's why we compliment each other.
Oh, right,
So sometimes she's like, oh no, we can do certain things a certain way. Now everything's by the book one ma.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh, interesting. So then so you started World of Buzz together, and then what made you start the next channel?
It was quite instantaneously, right?
Yeah,
I think when we started World of Buzz, to be honest, it was only both of us. When it was just both of us, he was doing all the posting to make sure the articles go reach certain kind of people enough, and then it was me writing it. We really just a two-man show at home.
Oh,
Basically,
yeah.
we don't
Those
have an
are
office.
the times where, because we started our infrastructure like on a very,
Lean.
mini scale, like in terms of like, our hosting and whatsoever as well. I mean, you can't accommodate that amount of capacity. So a lot of times I was like,
Our traffic would
we would kind of crash the whole site. And then you always have to be, there on standby to ensure that, we are picking it up or talking to our tech team to ensure that, the site goes up.
Yeah, I have to say it's really a hard work, right?
Yeah, it's really hard work.
Yeah, we work 7 days a week on top of his full-time job, on top of my studies. Anywhere we go, we bring a laptop just to make sure, if things go down, we can actually solve it instantaneously.
There's a lot of times we have to like, jump
Stop
out
on the side.
stop on the side, like we were in a
Pull the
bazaar,
laptop
and then we
out.
go into the car, put on a hotspot, and then, kind of like, solve certain technical problems because the site was breaking or crashing because there's too many people visiting the site at the point of time, maybe because of, certain articles that went viral. Yeah, so eventually, we kind of upgraded ourselves, progressively to ensure that, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think after 1 year, we decided to incorporate ourselves. Then that's when we started Lobak Merah as well and Noodou at the same time, because we felt like since World of Buzz is doing quite well as attraction, we wanted to also ensure that we have the voices for other audiences on other segments such as the Malay speaking groups and the Chinese speaking groups as well.
Right. So you launch into different segments quite faster.
I mean, we see an opportunity over there, and also because in terms of what
What Malaysia is, it's just not English only. It's
Yeah.
Bahasa and also Mandarin speakers.
Yeah, which is also a right timing because I feel like at the point of time, Facebook really prioritized a lot on a news or, publication, like in terms of content wise. And of course, a lot of these social media, they kind of grow over time, right? And their focus is also ever changing in different points of time. Like, there's a point in time where Facebook prioritizes on personal stories, your own connections, feed. And then after that, it personalizes more towards like articles, then become videos, and then now become like I guess shorts.
Reels.
Yeah, reels. So the content priority for social media actually also evolves over time. Yeah,
And we'll just have to adapt.
yeah, we just have to adapt accordingly to it. But at the point of time, because it was also prioritizing a lot of like content, publisher content. So that was a good point for us to start. That's
I see. So who's the social media expert here? Between
Both
the two?
of us.
I think both of us lah.
We always share a lot of ideas. Because, for example, when we wanted to start the Malay and Mandarin website, he was like saying, oh, maybe we should go into it. I'm like, do we really have to? I have to oversee more teams, and we're so lean, so we cannot hire everyone at the same time. So I have to also oversee 3 teams. But I mean, it was a good push lah, because obviously growing it's not easy, but then it's very important to cater for every Malaysians out there also. So even though there were a lot of hiccups on the way, getting the right people in as well, eventually we found our footing and it grew very tremendously until today. Some of them who has been with us 9 years ago, 10 years ago, they're still with us. So we're very happy about that lah.
Right.
And in terms of like social media wise, how we kind of split ourselves is she's more on the creative side. So in terms of like the content, the narrative, or the editorial portion of it, and how to style certain kind of posting, I think that's on her forte. Mine is more towards like more on the operational back end side when it comes to like technical stuff like boosting, like how much to or how to structure this or how to put certain code into the website.
Yeah.
So that's more on my strengths.
All right.
Right. So each of us, I guess, like like she said, complement us.
Right. And Michelle, since you're an editorial, do you speak all those languages very well, or like
I mean, I am trilingual.
you are trilingual?
Yeah.
So like you can write very well in like Malay, Chinese, and English.
I mean, how well is another issue lah. Obviously, English is my main language. Bahasa I'm better than. I'm better at Bahasa than Mandarin, but I did go to a Mandarin school. I mean, a Chinese school, so I can read and write. But because I'm very karat at Chinese, never liked Mandarin actually growing up, but I had 12 years of education there, so I know to a certain degree lah. So good enough to be able to read certain things, to bet through certain things, and also to understand the people enough lah.
I see. Right. I'm so curious because obviously you started those different channels quite fast and you are leading this editorial thing. And I suppose like for myself, I mean, I can speak Malay, I can speak, I can barely speak Mandarin, but I definitely cannot make a judgment call on a piece of article, so, but sounds like you're at the level where you can.
I think because there's a lot of things we look into in terms of content, right? It's not only just about the grammar that you use, but it's a lot on the presentation of it as well. So while I cannot absolutely dictate whether the words or them using it is accurate or not sometimes, but I'm able to at least understand the flow to see if it's something boring or if it's something interesting enough, or do they have to restructure certain words for them to hook someone before they tune out of the article. So a lot of these things really come to play, like headlines, the featured image. So those things I will be able to tell I mean, like you said, if it going down to nitty-gritty, maybe not as much.
Right. And then when you're hiring for your team, do you is it easy to find someone that is multilingual, or do you look for it, or it's not so important?
Actually, we don't look for people who are multilingual because the publications are actually split. So every publications have their own team. They don't actually work across publications. So it's not an issue for us lah.
I see.
Even our video team as well. So each have our own platform, like the English channel has their own video team, has their own editorial. And Malay, and we have that as well in Chinese.
We purposely segregate as such because actually the way of consuming content is actually very different across all three. So when we started, we already decided to actually segregate everyone because the types of news they consume is also different. The way they consume is also different. So So actually, if you're talking about certain viral news, it doesn't actually get covered on all three necessarily. Sometimes it might take up by Lobak Merah, but it's got the Lobak Merah corridor. So
I mean, they do share news internally, but at the same time, it's really on their discretion to pick it up lah. And most of the time, it doesn't really translate into the different languages because each has their own style of consumption. The audiences too.
Right. It's very fascinating. As in, it's not just the language, as in the audience, what they care about is also
exactly.
based on the language that they consume in Malaysia.
Correct. Exactly like that.
Right. It sounds like in your company, you would understand the Malaysian market quite well. Like it's so it's different groups of people.
I guess years of experience, years of creating content and adapting to the different kinds of content for different types of platform as well.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different kind of variation that we actually do. Yeah, here at Bella.
So would you say that you actually need to understand Malaysians quite well in some sense, like in order to write very good content?
I think to a certain degree lah, because I think a lot of people always ask us, do we have foreigners in our team? We say no, purely locals, because you really have to understand what Malaysians want to consume. But I think each of the teams do understand to a certain degree their own language, audience, what they want to consume, because we always put it simply, if it's something that you feel is interesting to you, most likely it'll be interesting to the rest also. So that's something that we, practice lah.
Right. And it's a lot of try and error because we don't really have a specific formula until we kind of test the water to see whether if this works.
So it's over years of experience, we know what works and what doesn't work.
Right. Okay. And how many years has it been? Is it 10 years? 11 years?
10 years.
This is 10 years. A 10-year anniversary.
No, congratulations.
Thank you.
You made it.
Yeah, 10 year. Hey, in June we'll be in 10 year.
Amazing.
So in a few months time,
Right.
I'm throw a big party. I'm kidding.
Yeah. But you really don't feel it, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure you the same. After you work for a few years, like time just flies. You really
It
don't
does.
10 years.
I tell people sometimes it feels like one very long day. Yes, and day. When we're like, and I rest, what's it like working with each other for 10 years? Like, you must know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
I'm pretty sure she likes me a lot. What is it like? Oh wow, we have a lot of like turbulence. I guess especially during the early days where things aren't so set. And
And there's a lot of stress, obviously, on the both of us, on the shoulders of both of us.
yeah, there's a lot of responsibilities, a lot of hats for us to actually carry during the initial days because it was just me and her. I mean, how the team initially started was just pretty much just two of us doing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, from like, we had the
Finance,
HR, we had the finance,
accounts.
yeah, like, the editorial, technical team,
Sales.
yeah, sales, whatever.
Everything.
So, yeah.
So sometimes we might overlap in certain things that we oversee, then that's when things also get a little bit muddled. And then, I mean, over time, obviously, in the 10 years, we have our ups and downs in terms of fighting. But I always put that we feel like siblings lah. So when we fight, it can be obviously hurtful, like any usual fights with your siblings, but each other doesn't mean it. It comes from a place of love. And then, the next day we just chill over it.
Try to make peace out of everything. Yeah, I mean,
And
we are
then
in
there's
this
a
together,
hard,
so
yeah.
I don't think there's anything that we should kind of hold grudges to or keep it at heart. Yeah.
Did you have any, like, I don't know, maybe system is a strong word, but do you have any kind of system or way you resolve your conflicts?
Not really.
I guess time. You just give in.
See who give in first. Just wait it out.
Just wait it out.
Us to have a lot of discussions. I mean, of course, when it's very stressful times, when we bring out a certain topic, it might be very chaotic in terms of the emotions that go into it. But usually after, like, let's say a fight, the next day we are more calm and we can talk about it in a more calmer tone, be more level head. And then from there, we kind of derive to a solution usually. And then we both have to agree on it. So that's mostly how we approach it.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the greater good, right? I mean, that's like I say, we have to kind of resolve it eventually.
Right.
And I mean, there's no benefit if both of us, having clashes. I mean, clashes, I think that's fine to kind of like, kind of make you think a little bit, like think twice on maybe your execution or, your ideas, which is great. But I guess when it comes to like more like emotional kind of stuff, usually she's the more emotional one.
See,
But,
even
Yeah, so. But I mean, over time, it became much better. So we kind of like just, take it as it is. And, these are just,
You kind of work out
petty
each other's
things.
things.
just serious stats lah. It's nothing that's gonna be life changing in the long run. I think we both know where we're headed at, what our goal is, and that's me. It's important.
Yeah, right. We just kind of like laugh it off, at times.
Have a drink after.
How long do you know each other before you start something? And maybe I share with you the angle of this question because sometimes when people start companies and they look for co-founders,
Yeah.
I also find it quite interesting. Sometimes a bit chin-chai, find co-founders. So, but I don't know, but you can get lucky. So I don't know whether
Of
you got
course.
lucky or did you actually know each other for a while?
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I mean, it is true that getting into a business with co-founder is very important because people heard a lot of horror stories throughout the years. But I think we were lucky in the way that we actually knew each other 3 years before that.
Yeah, 3 years before.
2-3 years before that, I think. Maybe 2 years, I think.
Right. So you're not just some random person. Hey, let's start something together.
Yeah, not like on the first day.
Right.
But I mean, we get to know each other over time, then started hanging out, and then, like our mamak sessions or whenever we go out, we do have, this kind of, I guess, more serious talk to kind of start something.
Yeah,
So,
but I think we
yeah.
also spoke in our last podcast. We also told them that actually we used to date lah.
Did we?
That's a true story.
Yeah, I think you can find it out there.
It's public anyway.
But I think it actually helped the relationship because we kind of understood each other from a different perspective where we also have to give in certain points of time to really make it work lah.
Oh, right.
I think if we didn't know each other before that, probably like a lot of friendships would just be like, you know, I'm out, don't care about you, you don't have any
Plus, I guess
understanding for the person lah.
yeah, and I guess the point of interest is, basically whenever we, have this kind of discussion, we will kind of like, debate and like see whether if this idea is good. So there's a lot of exchange of information, which we feel that, that's something that can complement us in a way where it can kind of, make us think whether if our idea is good, and then maybe my idea is good in certain ways and she has a point in certain ways. So you kind of like improvise from there and ensure that
Try to challenge each other like, and then find out the best solution.
yeah, so it's not like AI, right? Like give you like false positive.
Everything also gets in vain idea.
Like biasness towards you because they want to make you feel good. Yeah. So that's the AI back then. I mean, the opposite of AI back then. Hey, you challenge, I don't know. This one's not good.
Would you give any advice to a Malaysian they're looking for a co-founder? How should they do it?
I think they really need to understand each other for a while before they get into it. Because I think a lot of co-founders, which I hear from their stories, is they might know them on the surface. They might think they're a good businessman, but when it comes to this nitty-gritty or even like problem solving, they might be hands off, or they might not speak the same language that causes a lot of friction. So I think the relationship has to work lah. So I think I always say like co-founding partners are really like in a relationship lah. It's similar with your staff and an employer relationship where you both have to know each other enough to get married, right? So having the company is like a marriage where you sign a cert and be in it for the long run instead of getting a divorce afterwards.
Yeah, I think you can, pretty much test the waters, like do like, some maybe like a small gig, like a pilot project. Yeah, just to kind of see how, people actually work or how the other partner or the other party actually, compliments you or, do they bring value to you. So I think that probably will help lah in terms of identifying the right person to work with.
Yeah, and always choose someone that compliments you, not sharing the same skills lah.
Yeah, because a lot of times, I mean, they could be a great person, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, they are good in terms of working. Their work ethics might be different. Yeah, so sometimes they might be, really good. You feel like, oh, maybe from outside, it looks like, oh, this guy, a cool guy, looks very successful, but you don't really know, how they work or how they compliment you in terms of their work.
Yeah.
Right. And also, I think it's the same like building a team when you look for co-founders. I also find that a lot of people think that if you have a good relationship, it means like everything is just works so well, like you feel like a glove. But actually, it's the opposite. I feel like very good relationships are often there's a lot of conflict in it, but it's more about whether you can recover from the conflict. And then still find a way to move forward together. I think that is a real practical way to look at what a good relationship.
Yeah, the perseverance towards getting things through.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's not the absence of conflict. It's like you can recover from the conflict, which is why I'm also trying to. When we are building the team last time also, I've learned this myself. And initially I also thought like, a good team is like, no one's fighting, or work well together, but. Actually, I think it's the opposite. And in order to be able to recover from the conflict, it usually means that you need a good relationship with each other. That you try to move past the conflict. Like you all say just like it comes from a good place, even though your ideas might be different. Because there's that level of trust, right? Because you have a relationship.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, at the end of it, it's an open discussion. So it's not like, we are conflicting just to for the sake of it, but it's an open discussion. I mean, you have the rights to share your thoughts. Maybe it may not sit well with me, or it maybe doesn't really make sense to me, but at the end of the day, if we kind of hash it up and at the end of the day we want what's best for the business, so
Yeah, but there's no formula lah, because we also learn that sometimes you have good relationships, and if you want to put it the best way possible, it also can trigger them, or they might not understand from your point of view. So I mean, it's all about human management lah. You know, you have really really different personalities. So.
Right. Managing people is
Yeah, managing people. Yeah,
it's a skill.
it's a skill. Yeah, it's an art.
I'm still learning myself, by the way.
I
Right.
think everyone is.
Yeah, everyone is like. Yeah.
Right. And how big's your team right now? By the way?
90 something,
Yeah, 90 something.
92, I think.
Huge. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually thought it was 80 until we had that Raya
Oh, yeah.
thing. Then we had to order some catering. I'm like, whoa, since when did we get 90 something?
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, it does expand really quick over the years. We've been doubling down on our manpower. We wanted to, really expand and scale up the business. I think since the pandemic, we've been trying to keep steady lah, and focus on different things.
Right. And how did you learn how to lead a team of this size?
Trial and error.
It's a progression kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it started with just me and her,
Smaller team.
just both of us, and then eventually we kind of compartmentalized, some of our responsibilities, and we started managing one person under us, then come 2%, then 5%, then you get someone to manage that, and we manage the manager.
Right.
So it's like a learning throughout the whole 10 years that we have been in operations.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of trial and error because you don't know how to manage different personalities at that point. And we were so young as well. I think we were like 23, 24, 25, that age. So managing people around the same age, it was quite difficult lah, I feel.
Sometimes you have to manage like older people as well. But I guess, as long as, you maintain that level of professionalism and respect towards dealing with them or your team, then, I think regardless of the age gap, it's justifiable. Yeah. I mean, we have to be practical, right? At the end of the day, if let's say if you are working for someone, person is your boss, if your boss is younger than you, doesn't mean that he's less experienced. I mean, maybe he knows certain things that he may not know. I mean, vice versa as well. And that's why you also hired, the person to, expand his knowledge to us.
Right. And you learn all this through trial and error.
Yeah, through trial and a lot of trial and error. Yeah, through dealing with people on a day-to-day, interviewing people, working with them together. Yeah, sitting down with them,
Yeah.
running projects together. Then you can kind of know how to manage. I guess it's somewhat similar to like maybe your college days where you have to kind of group people up to like some school projects, right? Yeah, so somewhat similar to that, but maybe in a more maybe less forgiving way.
But I really still think it's very hard lah. Even till now, it's quite tough lah. I'm still learning.
Yeah, I mean for us it's a ever learning kind of process.
I think because it's very natural as humans, we want to be very empathetic. Even like let's say you have bad performance, but you also have to set a boundary for yourself and your company that you want what's best for them and for the company. So if they're not right for the position, maybe you have to have a talk with them on how to improve, and if they aren't able to improve, then maybe it's just not a right fit for them as well. So a lot of these things we always have to go through, but it's a circle of life.
Little thing really makes a lot of difference. Like sometimes maybe if the person doesn't really fit well into the team, then we kind of influence as well, right? Like that kind of behavior may spread throughout the team. So we want to kind of ensure that those sort of I guess behavior that is not so welcoming to be contained as it is. Yeah.
Right. And then one of the reasons I'm asking is because I also find that, I mean, obviously I also founded the company, and like with like both of you, in the early days, you were directly doing the work, right? So I'm sure you know the work very well,
Yeah.
right? And as the company scale, you are started adding layers and you are increasingly removed from the work.
Yes.
Correct.
Oh, and then learning how to manage that is, I still haven't figured it out myself. So,
To delegate it all.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a lot of founders kind of position as well. Usually when they start something, because they feel like, that's their baby, we have to manage it by ourselves. And obviously thinking us as compared to other people managing, we always put ourselves first, like, oh, I know this best. And I know this, like, in terms of delivering the output wise, I can do this better than the other person.
Yeah.
I mean, that has also been like us
Yeah.
for the longest of time, where we really think that, oh, I don't want to hand it off completely. I still want to be part of, like, some part of the operations. But eventually that kind of it's like a trade-off for your time as well. So if you are doing that, then you have lesser time to kind of look into other areas of the business,
Yeah.
the bigger picture to kind of expand. Yeah. So we really need to support and build that trust. Yeah, you really need to trust that, even though maybe they might not be ready yet. Which I think how we started as well was also like that, where a lot of our team members are really, really young, but we entrust them, even though they might not be ready. But at the end of the day, we are growing together with you. So we kind of like walk together with us, sort of journey. Yeah.
Right. And you found a better balance, lah, I suppose.
Yeah.
lah.
Correct.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Eventually, we have to remove ourselves from the picture for us to actually focus on something else.
On the expansion of the
expansion
business.
of the business. If not, then all of these other platforms wouldn't have come about. Our influencer marketing wouldn't have come about. Or even our social media or agency service wouldn't come about also.
Right.
So eventually, we had to move ourselves from different phases. Of course, demands different. I guess different tension, and we have to kind of allocate our time accordingly. I mean, if we were to do ourselves really good in one thing, that is the trade-off. We have one thing that's really good, but then the other portion of it you don't really get to expect. Yeah, so you may want to kind of find a balance when to kind of put yourself out, train them well, get them running, and then kind of look into other areas to kind of expand it.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel especially if the founder's not willing to let go, you also kind of limit the team that's under you. They don't actually get to learn. They're always following, and they don't have that learning curve to be independent, lah. I always feel.
Correct. Yeah, I don't think we should rob them from their ability to learn. Yeah, because I think sometimes
They have a lot of potential, but
there's a lot of potential, and just because we are always there, so they always expect us to be the one who
makes a
cleans
decision,
up certain
guide,
things, resolve certain issues. But you want to make them to be in that position to be able to think and figure out yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, we also hire them to be in certain or carry certain responsibilities. So we want to make sure that they also have that privilege to be in that responsibility, experience that.
Right. And because it started 10 years ago, I'm going to imagine most of your team are like maybe fairly young people. So when you started 10 years ago, the youth were the Malaysian Gen Y, like the millennials.
Yeah, auntie and uncles.
Yeah, the old people.
Last time we were young. Last time our team was young also.
Right.
Now they grew with us.
Yeah, I remember the first time Ling Ling Ho applied to be an intern, everyone was like, oh my god, how old are we?
How old are we? Wow,
Now they are full-timers now.
2000.
Oh my gosh.
People born in the year of 2000 is
They're
really
full-timers
working
now.
for us. Wow.
Amazing. Right.
Yeah.
So now I suppose you hire a lot of Malaysian Gen Z and used to be
Yeah.
Malaysian Gen Y. What did you notice anything different in terms of maybe what thunderstorm? Do you notice anything different in the sense of what you're drawn to, let's say in that job? Like, does your messaging, has it evolved over time when you're attracting talent? Or I'm just very curious how you see this.
I think in the way we guide them, it has been evolving. I think the way that they are motivated is also very different. When I look at millennials back then, we are more, I think, goal-driven. We want to do the best. We want to ascend up to the top of the chain, right, in the corporate ladder. But for Gen Z, I feel they prioritize a lot on their wellness, a lot of work-life balance, a lot of, working from home. This kind of like healthy lifestyle lah. So I felt in terms of the different motivators, we had to adapt to speak to them on what really drives them to work, what really drives them to achieve more, and from there, then we use that to motivate them lah.
I view culturally in terms of like Gen Z wise, they probably look into recognition, like acknowledgement of their work much more as compared to the older generation.
Yeah, a lot of small celebrations of the small wins.
Yeah. A lot of small celebrations. In terms of the older generation wise, I think they are more adaptable to more rigid structure. Like I think the older generation is like, oh, if I don't see you in office, that means you're not doing work, kind of thing. So you need that visibility to or the presence to be able to kind of manage or tell that okay, yeah, you're doing work. But Gen Z, I think they prefer that flexibility, that acknowledgement. Like you don't really have to look over my shoulder all the time, and to give them that that trust and freedom to know what they are able to to bring to the company.
Right. So do you practice like a hybrid culture or like you do?
Yeah.
For certain teams,
With different teams with different teams. So each team have different kind of hybrid working arrangements. So some of them they work from home once a week and then the next week on, 1 week off, that kind of thing. And some of the teams are also they work 3 days in the office, 2 days in the office. So it really depends on what is required. Some teams actually also work fully from the office. So this really depends on some of their analytics and measurements for KPI.
I see. Right. Interesting. I mean, even here also, different managers seem to have different preference. So I'm also trying to adapt to what they prefer. Some they just want to see the team every day. Some it's like whatever lah, you work from home and you let me know. So it seems like also partially a management style, like a personal preference.
management style, I guess. Yeah. And also, I guess the team's dynamics too.
The team dynamics, yeah. Interesting. This is not in the list of questions. I'm so curious to talk about remote working or that. Like, how does the world of AI affect what you do? And I share a little bit more about this question because one reason why, for practical purposes, I'm also trying not to encourage my team to go fully remote. But the reason is because I have this sense, my prediction is that anything that can be done on a computer screen or digitally, which is what a fully remote person is doing, is most likely very easily automated. So if I'm going to help someone have a good long-term sustainable career, I feel like they should be doing in-person things.
Got it.
Something that the AI will find very difficult to replace. That's my feeling, So, but I'm sharing this also for everyone's personal growth, like if you're doing something fully remote, well, actually, very dangerous this job. That's what I mean. Yeah. I don't know whether you have any views on this, or do you get asked about AI?
Oh, I love AI. Yeah, I mean, like I've been dabbling into been talking to AI every single day for hours. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people might think that okay, AI is going to replace their jobs, right? I feel like that's not the case. I think in terms of productivity wise, it will definitely be very, very substantial. The increment of productivity will be crazy. Yeah. So why I say that is it won't replace your job, but it will replace whoever that doesn't use AI. Because for those individuals that use AI and use AI well, they have that leverage to outshine all the other people who may not be using AI or may not be using AI as effectively. Yeah. So like AI, I think the wonderful thing about it is it bridges the gap of the time taken to find a certain knowledge or information. I mean, back then, if you want to find for certain information, you go to Google search engine, type, and then you have to scroll, find which one is correct. And most of the time, you may not get exactly what you want. But AI has bridged that gap where you type, it gives you exactly what you need to find and in the right context as well. So it eliminates the time in between, which back in the days will take crazy amount of hours you have to scroll through, especially if you want to do deep research into a certain topic, or if you want to do maybe certain kind of study in terms of data or analytics. You have to go and really source it out into the web space, which is 1,000,001 out there, where you really have to find and piece out all the information bit by bit. But right now, if you just type it into the prompt, pretty much it gives you all of those information, they define it for you, and then they give it to you, right? So that gap of that time is eliminated, and basically that's where the productivity comes in. And not just that, of course, now we have agentic AI as well, where it comes in, it helps you do so many things, like read your emails, draft for your emails for you. Even you don't have to tell them, like you can set automation to send or to scan through your emails. If there's any lead related emails, then you start it, and they can do it without me even like touching the laptop at all. So I mean, those are some of the things that if you really put your time and kind of build certain automation or structure or system around it, I think it can really benefit you as an individual, and also in terms of a company wise, those systems are invaluable.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And also I find that, I mean, building on what you say, right? Because it feels like it's moving very fast. That's one thing. Like capability changes so fast.
Yeah.
And it's really a bit like an open playing field. So I consider myself someone that is fairly active. I'm experimenting a lot, but I'm probably scratching the surface of all the use cases that I did, because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe switching back to maybe say if it's a young Malaysian that now and they are, they're new and early in their career, what kind of advice would you give them in terms of how they should approach their career in this AI world right now?
Use AI all the way.
I think
That's
use AI
us.
smartly also because we have seen a lot of newer joiners or fresh grads. They try to use AI, but they don't use it smartly, where they just copy paste certain things out of context, maybe for assessment, maybe for reply email, maybe for a caption. So they can use AI, but they have to use it with their brains as well to really vet through things, not just believe it 100%, but really go through. Because maybe they prompt it very simply, so the things are out of context as well, but just don't copy paste only.
AI can make mistakes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, even they have their disclaimer that yeah, don't trust everything that the AI tells, because you get like all these false positives, like they are programmed to basically side on your side. Unless, of course, you give certain kind of instructions to it so that it's not biased towards what you say.
Right.
Yeah, and to challenge you, of course.
Right. Yeah. So it's very easy to fall into the trap of using it to outsource your thinking. That's not what you should be doing, right? It should sort of help you.
Yeah.
Like you should think together with it and do stuff together.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it already gives you that, basically that platform to, save you a lot of time. Just make sure that you at least put some time
You're involved in the
to the thought of process and to be critical about certain things as well. I mean, not to use AI to replace completely your brain or your humanity, and then let AI do everything.
Yeah, in that sense, that AI definitely will take over the job.
I take over your life also.
If the AI can do everything, then this is a dangerous job to have.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I think because we saw a lot of them, they don't use AI to enhance their thinking, but they use AI just to get the answer. So even if I prompt it simply, then I'm like, hey, why do I have the same answers from you, even though it's supposed to be a creative brief, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, the differences of output should be different and should be noticeable. Yeah, I mean, if they use AI and they don't use AI and the output is the same, then they are just pretty much using AI just to make their life easier, and that doesn't build value, right? I mean, at the end of the day, AI is there to bring additional value, not to replace whatever value that you have. It has to be additive, not like equal or making it worse.
Right. So it's not there to, in a way, not there to make you do less work. It's supposed to make you do better work.
Yes, correct. Yeah. I mean, of course, if you're self-employed, then sure, if you have more time for yourself, sure. But at the end of the day, if let's say if you are in a corporation and our responsibility is to work for a company, then you should also carry that responsibility.
Right. I want to shift over to jump to the media landscape a little bit. So it's just two angles of media landscape. One is social media in general. I mean, when you started, I guess Facebook was the big thing.
yeah,
Right? Yeah. And then maybe later talk about the Malaysian media landscape. But let's talk about social media first. How has that evolved, and how do you see this going?
I mean, Facebook used to be our go-to platform, and it was 10 years ago. I'm pretty sure everyone has their own Facebook. Now, if you ask Gen Z, they don't even know what's Facebook.
You don't have an account on Facebook.
Meta on it. Yeah, they don't have an account on Facebook. So, I mean, it's just
Evolved very
adoption,
fast.
culture adoption of platforms like I mentioned previously as well. That all of these social media grows over time, and they age with us as well. So now all of the Facebook people are the older people. They're still on that particular platform like us. I'm still using Facebook as well.
And I have to say, whoever is in the media industry it gets a lot challenging because obviously back then when we write articles or do video, we just have to post in Facebook and then YouTube. But then you come Instagram, and now there's Twitter, and now there's Xiaohongshu, and then there's Lemonade, and there's so many things that you have to adapt, and then you kind of are spread too thin. So for some of the things, we also have to see which platform we want to focus. Otherwise, it's too hard to hard to focus on certain things lah.
Oh, right. Oh, you're right. There's Lemonade.
That's everything.
We haven't gone there ourselves.
So that's like a lot of things, and obviously over the time, even right now, Xiaohongshu is more popular, and clients are asking us about it. Or sometimes maybe they are B2B, they want to do LinkedIn. There's a lot of things that we have to adapt ourselves with lah, and it does get a lot challenging. So it's just how we really want to focus. Yeah, even in TikTok itself, it used to be just videos. Now, sometimes we also have to know e-commerce, live selling.
Yeah, the yellow bag thing. Lifestyle.
TikTok live. So it's just so diverse if you're in this industry, but it's something you have to learn.
Right. You have to be very adaptable in terms of the ever-changing, times with, tech and especially AI.
Right.
Yeah. So need to be very agile in terms of, creating your content, distributing your content,
Right.
ensuring the context of your content is.
WhatsApp group, WhatsApp business, so many things. True.
And then how do you see how you distribute your content? So there's one, I was reading this before, it's apparently, don't know whether you see it's accurate or not. So every platform seems to, different type of content does well from different platforms, for different platforms. So some would say you start with what the platform is looking for and then you work backward to the content. Or you can also go the other way around. You take the content, you figure out how to repurpose it for the platform. How do you see it?
Oh,
I think for us, since we have a long time of creating content, we just do it like how we used to do because the formula is good. I guess it has been working out for us, so we did not really reshape it too much. But before that, when we write an article, it always goes on Facebook. And when Instagram came, we had to adapt it into an image style, obviously for people to read and view. And then for TikTok, we have to adapt it into a video style. So the format is different, but we don't do too crazy much on repurposing everything lah. Yeah, because otherwise it really would take too much time. But who knows, maybe AI can solve that as well.
I mean, reverse engineering, like content-wise, I think that's something that's doable. But ultimately, what's important, I feel, would be, creating and really accommodating to the niche that you are providing to. Like in terms of the content that you're making, if I'm a chef and, I'm to, provide cooking videos to TikTokers, then I just have to make sure that, everything's clear. Like, I give the right ingredients. Because sometimes, you get those kind of video where it clips like pa 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 pa, and you don't even know how much garlic should I put over here, how much rice I should put over here. It's like ta 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 ta, and then you get trying to cook, right? And then you don't really get the information that you need. But I feel like as long as the content resonates well with the audience or the needs that you are providing to, the content will search you instead.
Right.
Yeah. If I'm someone who is, trying to look out, or maybe I always stop and browse all this type of content. I mean, the algorithm will find me rather than I will find the content. Right. So, basically it's that attraction lah, basically, where the content, where you are attracting the content. So you don't really have to, go out there and search for whatever content that you're looking for, as long as that's part of your interest, and you as a content creator or media that creates that particular content well, then eventually that will be part of the audience that is receiving those content. I mean, it's like kind of like the attention lah.
Right. Yeah. I saw that some people they don't call it social media anymore, call it interest media.
Interest media.
So you're not really. It's not because of your friend groups.
Correct. It's no longer that. And that's also a beautiful thing, because then that makes everyone else in this world, content creators. So as long as you're posting up there publicly, then that content has an opportunity to land into someone else's feed that may benefit them.
Right. Also, by the way, that if you're thirsty, the water's for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Emotional support.
Oh, thanks. Very lovely.
Bring this home also. It's built for the Gen Zs.
Gen Z's. Wonderful.
Is this a merch?
Yeah, we made we had this like 2 years ago, but we haven't finished distributing it. So
Wow,
it's
thank you.
yours.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
As you
Hey,
said,
thank
like
you.
Gen Z, much more focused on like health, mental health.
Health, wellness,
That's
welfare.
right. They can hug this when they're stressed. And back to social media. So yeah, you mentioned there's Lemonade now. That means Xiaohongshu started becoming more popular recently. And I noticed also, TikTok blew up in 2020-ish, right?
Pandemic.
Yeah, during pandemic time, lockdowns, it blew up. And I remember when we first went to TikTok, oh wow, like it was very easy. If your content is decent,
Yeah.
like it's very easy to get good engagement and reach. It's not the same now. I feel it's so crowded.
course. Yeah.
Super. The algorithm one day likes you, one day doesn't like you.
Yeah.
But so maybe my question is more of like, when a platform is new, it seems to make sense to go in early,
Yes.
right? As a media company,
Yes.
right?
100%.
Yes.
Right? Then you can get the grow fast,
Yes.
capture that early thing.
Correct.
That's how you see it,
Yeah, that's how I see it.
right?
That is how we see it. You can go into it later, but it will be definitely a lot more competitive, and your quality of video has to be really out there to really achieve those numbers. But like what you say, if a platform is new, then just go straight into it. Even for Instagram, we were one of the first news platforms to actually go into Instagram, because back then people look at influencers, aesthetic videos, aesthetic cafes. Instagram was about that lifestyle.
We're actually one of the first, if not the first, to actually publish news in Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nowadays everyone's doing that.
Yes, it's right. Yeah.
But like last time we were doing that in like Carousel. Like,
Yeah.
So you went in early.
Yeah,
Yes.
we went in early.
Very, very early.
In terms of like, adapting our content into the platform itself. Yeah, because we do see a shift, like, people are going to Instagram to, actually view stuff. Because Instagram used to be only the people that you follow, you get it in your feed. Like whatever feed content that is there, is whoever you follow. But of course, things change over time. Now it's like TikTok, where, random people, the public content can appear in your feed as well, as long as it's relevant to what your interests that you search for.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it tiring to always have to chase the next social media channel?
Definitely lah, I would say definitely. Even now we, aren't fully, I would say 100% well adapted to newer ones like Xiaohongshu, because there's a totally different algorithm. It prioritizes on organic kind of content. So there's a very different ball game. And it does get tiring because it's not just us, obviously, it's our team also. You're like, adding another platform to us to post.
Extra one more, have to publish.
different
But we try to balance as well. That's why, in terms of our YouTube wise, we are, kind of slowing down a little bit there, because YouTube are more towards like longer form content. We are, shifting towards, more short form, quick bites kind of content.
Yeah, so we focus more on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. That's 3 of our main channels lah.
Right. Yeah, but coming into a social platform, I think it makes sense, but at the same time, we also has to assess, the viability of the platform, because, sometimes we may not know that, okay, we go in early, but it then end up to be a platform that everyone uses, right?
Right.
Yeah, so we also have to kind of assess to, to see where's the right time to actually come in.
Right.
And, usually, most of the platforms are usually validated in other regions, really. It's just when they will come into, like, maybe Malaysia. Like, because all these platforms are either in China or either in America. And we can kind of know that, okay, it's getting big over there. Potential of the, coming in over would be quite prominent.
Right.
Yeah, so we know when to come in. If let's say, okay, big enough, sizable amount of audiences that we can explore, getting our content over there. Because that's how we expand as well. Like I mentioned, like in terms of Facebook wise, they were prioritizing a lot of publishers like them. So, if we are able to kind of create our content and get our content exposed as much as possible in those particular platforms, then that would definitely give us more leverage as compared to the other media players on there. Because we are there early, our fan base is already there. If we build it early, and plus in terms of advertising costs as well, it will be much cheaper. Because a smaller platform, obviously, they need that kind of.
They need the content.
Yeah, they say
reward you.
Yeah, correct. They reward you more to kind of, get things
Post more,
rolling. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. So you have to be smart, like where you focus your effort also.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Not just like simply just because it's new content that we go there, but we have to assess what's the value for us being there.
Right. And now shifting to like the Malaysian media landscape, how do you see that? It's a broad question, but I mean, so when you started, obviously, so it's newspapers, TV, radio, digital media. It's booming. It's boomed, I would say.
Yeah. I think now there's a lot of KOLs, obviously, throughout the years. Because obviously after TikTok, everyone wants to be a creator. And back then, not everyone can be a creator because not everyone can edit videos. But now with CapCut, you have templates. You can easily edit it. So a lot of people are trying to be KOLs and a lot of them are succeeding. So over the years, we do see a lot of rise in KOLs as well. And I think we see it non-stopping lah. Yeah, in the future, there will be even more KOLs coming up. Yeah, because now everyone's a content creator, right? Everyone, tries to be a content creator or can be deemed as a nano influencer as well. So I feel that will just continue.
I guess they would adapt to, whatever the audience demand. I mean, for like the media as well, I think their leverage is basically the audience that they have and, basically creating content revolving around the audience that they have or, expanding the audience that they currently have. So, if let's say, if it ends up, everyone in Malaysia likes to watch cat videos, then so I guess eventually you'll get to a point where everything becomes cat videos.
Right. And so I suppose KOLs are kind of like little media companies themselves, which is
I guess personality based media.
I mean, in terms of influence wise, I think it's similar, but in terms of like the systematic organizational structure, a little bit different. Because I mean, if you're a KOL, it's either you spend your time creating content or you want to deal with all this administrative organizational stuff of like maybe getting clients, negotiating a client or doing, certain things. So I think we see that as more like an individual.
right.
And I think the algorithm so far, as you can see, for every KOL is been quite up and down. I think everyone is battling through that also. Like you said, some days could be very good, and next week it falls down.
Yes, correct.
Even our KOL friends also face the same things.
Yeah, I think it could be a strategy, who knows? Like maybe it could be a strategy for like, all these bigger platforms, TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, to kind of uplift them and then, uplift everyone, right? I mean, their goal is to uplift everyone, so everyone will be stuck in their platform.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this is my observation. Like, it's an assumption. Yeah, a lot of KLs, they had a lot of like following. Like we used to hear like all these like past KLs. I don't know, maybe Swanjan or whatever. But nowadays you don't really hear them in terms of the influence that they have, right? Yeah. So I don't know. It could be a algorithm kind of thing where the social platform tries to accommodate for everyone just so that
Maybe
it can be. They get the hook that I already have this engagement over here, and if you go about it, then they are stuck in that platform, and then other people will get the same thing as well. But then after that, you kind of like tone down their language, or who knows, right?
It's a very pragmatic outlook.
Yeah.
It makes sense though. I can understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, it could be a conspiracy theory. No, get own judgment.
At end of the day, the bottleneck is the audience eyeballs reach. So as it becomes, I mean, at some point they will reach a limit. Then who gets to see the content?
Correct.
You have to kind of also reward the new people.
Yes, correct. Yeah, reward the new people that's producing the content, so that you are you stuck there producing the content in a particular platform.
right. Because you're stuck, you just keep doing it.
Yeah, because you really feel the hit, like, oh, this feels really good. I got 1 million views for this video that I posted. Then, maybe I have another shot of having that 1 million views another time. So I start creating more content, and eventually, I don't know, this per assumption.
Right. Then I'm just wondering, in the Malaysian KL scene, or maybe just KLs in general, it's going to be pretty stressful to stay relevant, right? Because, for example, with what you are running, because it's I mean, you're showing a lot of news and stuff like that. It's kind of like an evergreen concept, and it's going to be news all the time that you can cover. But if you are individual KOL, like you as a person, you're kind of putting yourself on the line a little bit, and you have to keep on, you have to keep up with it, and the algorithm keeps changing.
Yeah.
You can't really retire.
Yeah,
so
it's
fast.
you are the product.
You're the product, right?
Yeah.
I think that's why you can see throughout the years, even like American creators, like even PewDiePie, after a certain time, they want to just retire. They don't want to be so front-facing anymore. Eventually, it does get to them. But maybe because it's still new here, we don't see it fully yet. But, eventually it might lah.
Right. Interesting. I've always fascinated about how, everyone wants to be a KOL, everyone wants to be famous online.
Oh, I think now it's like, everyone is KL. You guys are also KL, right?
We do a lot of content.
Secretly.
No, we do have people, even interns from marketing team last time, they have their own private pages. They're very active. And it's just something that, there's this idea, people are drawn to it.
Yeah, people are drawn to it.
Yeah. I mean, some people are very successful that they're able to build, I guess, some of a production team themselves, so they don't have to do everything on their own. The ones that are big enough, they actually have a team behind them as well, but they obviously still have to show up on the camera for it. And I think a lot of our KOL friends do tell it's quite challenging also as time, because you have to shoot every day, can't really retire, right, unless you really introduce someone else to take over your brand.
Right. Yeah. But good news for both of you, because the way you build the company, you're not stuck as the personality for the brand.
Yeah. I guess you don't have to be always front facing to the camera. But
Never shy lah.
Never shy. Yeah.
Seems like a good good system that you have.
And my friend is trying to build his own.
Yeah, just this year onwards.
You feel like a personal.
Yeah, that's one of the initiatives that we have.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Who knows? Maybe I become the product.
Okay. I have 3 last questions. Okay. So the first one is, so if you could go back, and both we can go back to the moment in the mamak when you are talking, that 22-year-old self talking, let's start this, this world of buzz thing. I mean, nothing too inspirational but just what do you think you would say to that person?
I will say buy that 10 bitcoins.
That's the best advice. Forget about this. Just buy it.
Really, wow, we were so close.
We are so close.
So close. Oh my god. We have to tell you this story. We deposited the money already. But to buy 10 bitcoins. But it got rejected. Oh man. At that time, 1 bitcoin is about $100 US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then that time it's not easy to buy, so you have to go through this website which looks a bit dodgy.
Yeah, it looks a bit dodgy, and there's a lot of obstacle in between. So at the end of the day, we also feel like, is this really safe? Because when Bitcoin was $100
and $1,000,
it wasn't a big thing yet globally.
Yeah, and $1,000 was a lot
For us back then.
So
Yeah, there was
should I bought it?
that was a recent opportunity. There was a big regret.
Don't have to manage 90 people, and then we are dying.
Like $1 million US. Wow, $1 million US when Bitcoin was 100K, 100K when Malaysian ringgit was like $5 US. Woo, 5 million, man.
That's 5 million.
Yeah, 5 million ringgit worth of Bitcoin.
Oh wow.
Just from 1,000.
Oh my god.
1,000 US. Until today, it still gets me.
Maybe that's what keeps the fire going.
Yeah, keep the makeup on glossy.
That's right.
But I think if you're talking about the business, probably would say like it will get hard lah. For the first, I think 4 or 5 years, it was very, very difficult. A lot of times we're like, 崩溃, like gonna break down like that. But it actually does get better. I think someone told me after the 5 year mark, it will get better, and actually did get better. So I would say the perseverance is worth it lah.
Yeah, probably would. What would I advise my former self? Argue more with your parents.
Argue more with your parents.
Yeah.
Say you're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. The assumption is wrong. But yeah, I mean, on a serious note, I think really because back then it was just both of us, right? So I think what's really important is to really do it. My thoughts are always like to do it yourself because no one else is there to help you to do it. Yeah, so whatever it is, like whether it's that's why when we grew, we already know how to assess like certain qualities in terms of our hires, in terms of pricing wise as well. We know that we're not getting ripped off because we have already dabbled ourselves into a lot of different things like HR. Okay, we know this HR system we used before. Okay, this certain tech build, like how to build a website, it will cost this much because I know how to build websites, and the person is charging me 100,000 that asking go and fly kite. Yeah, so I mean, these are some of the knowledge that you have to be hands-on,
Right.
yeah, which gives you a lot of benefit later on, during the business, especially during the starting or founding stages of your business and your operations, because it gives you a lot of clarity, not just when during a time that when you start finding out. By the time maybe it's a little bit too late or the information may not be too accurate. But if you have really involved yourself into the process, initially you can kind of grasp what it is. And you can kind of use that to your leverage to negotiate certain things or to get the right people in, because you can kind of know what skill set in particular that you kind of need. Or maybe someone is just just look good on paper but doesn't turn up too well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And second last question. So if a young Malaysian or just a Malaysian, doesn't have to be young, if they wanted to be popular on social media, either as themselves or they want to start like a social media page, like how you did, or an online page, right? Two directions out of this question. What is harder than it looks, and what is easier than it?
What is harder than it looks? I think a lot of people always talk maybe about KOLs. They think it's very easy job, but to be honest, I personally feel it is harder than it looks, because a lot of KOLs maybe, even if they're reviewing restaurants or they're a travel influencer, it looks very fun, but it's harder than it looks because when you're supposed to be traveling or going to an event, you're supposed to enjoy, but they're actually thinking about work, what angle to shoot, what's the direction of video I want to go through, what are the shots I must take so I can edit it later, what's the voiceover that I use over here. So a lot of people tend to forget they're always turned on about content, they are never turned off. So I feel like that will be the harder things that it looks like.
Something I've just discovered as well is that, these KLs, they actually do plan like, let's go out and take content. Like it's actually like a thing for them. It's like an activity. Usually you wouldn't do that to your friends, right? I mean, you're like, hey, let's go watch a movie. Hey, let's go drink, or let's go,
everything they do
mamak
is
or whatever it is.
content.
Yeah, there's like, hey, let's go out and shoot content. Let's go to this cafe, shoot content. Let's go to this place to shoot content. This place really nice.
So everything is a job. Really is harder than it looks.
Oh, I never thought of that before. Right?
Yeah.
So even though it looks like they're having fun, but it's like a job.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, maybe they are having fun in their job, but, at the end of the day, I think it also takes a lot of courage, to actually put yourself out there in front of the camera. And, sometimes, there's a little bit of, you need to kind of dissolve your ego as well to put yourself in that kind of position and, to get all the audiences viewing your content. Sometimes it may not be great comments as well. So those are the things that you probably need to deal with as well.
Oh, you're right.
Being a content creator, you may not. I mean, I guess that's more on like the mental health kind of issue where if you're creating content and are getting hate, then how are you going to deal with it, right? So there's a lot plus the wonderful side, and of course there's a not so wonderful side of being a content creator, right?
Yeah. Maybe what is easier than it looks. I would say what I discovered is also video editing, but not like you guys' level lah, like the CapCut level of video editing, because CapCut really dumbed down a lot of steps that we don't do on Premiere Pro, because Premiere Pro obviously you need to know the interface, how to do the editing, but CapCut make it very easy where you can drag and drop. There's a lot of sound effects there. So I feel like if someone wants to start, they can use it to actually start it already, not having to learn the whole program to actually do it. And so that part itself is something that they can actually dive into, not being worried that, oh, I don't have video experience, so I cannot jump into it.
Yeah, that's basically for a lot of tasks right now. So even for like coding wise, building a website, I mean, the gap is kind of bridged.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, last time you really need to have all this technical expertise, like really, really good at it to be able to even come up with a video. But now you just, everything is user interface friendly. You just, kind of like, drop, click some buttons and, pretty much you get a video. Or even a website. Just ask AI to come out with this website. And,
Yeah, I mean, we're not shunning the people who has those skills, but it's just on the social media level, the kind of level you need, that's good enough.
Yeah, correct. And it breaks the barrier to entry for them. So, in terms of last time, if I want to be a content creator, I need to make sure that, I edit my videos well, the storyline and whatsoever. But nowadays, all this, because of the tool out there, your template, you have your Canva, you have even your AI,
tools
have you
to transcribe all your subtitles.
Yeah, the amount of work that goes into creating a content is much more easier as compared to back then. We of this setup. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, even transcribing, subtitling. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys are using some AI to transcribe as well, right?
Right, yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
doing it manually.
It's like,
1 hour of listening.
yeah, I got typo here some more. Manual, I got typo.
Right, yeah. So I mean, in essence, a lot of the technical stuff, they are tools, especially if again, you're not talking about, you're not creating like a Star Wars film or something here, right? So just social media, that a lot of tools for it. And it sounds like the challenge mostly is just, number one, like you are the product now, if you are a KOL.
Correct.
So handling the emotional journey of you being the product is one big challenge, right? And you're always switched on. You're always thinking about, will this what casting girls?
That's all you care about.
Right.
And the engagement, the views, that become your currency,
Yeah.
And then comes what's important in your life.
Right. Okay, last question. And so say as Influasia grows and and I hope you guys become really successful one day. And if you look back at it, how would you like to be remembered as entrepreneurs? How would you like to be described as entrepreneurs?
I feel like for us, most important is how we treated our people. I think we've always put our people first. Even during pandemic, when there's the war as well, we had to slash people, but we never slashed people because they've been with us for a long time. So we didn't even cut them off. So even though we were struggling a little bit in terms of profits, we still kept on, try to do new things. So it makes sense to keep them there to do new projects. So I feel like in the end of the day, I hope our team look back at us and really admired and respected the work that we've done. Because a lot of this, we do it quietly. We don't like to shout out about it.
And I think we are very back-end kind of personality. Yeah, that's why we don't really put ourselves into videos as well. Until this year.
And I think that
But that's also it's a business decision.
and I think that they should also be high you don't want to talk about these things that we've done. So we're hoping these kind of quiet actions that they're able to see also.
Right. I guess I wouldn't put myself personally as to wanting to be remembered by. I hope that Influasia becomes like the brand that people remembers. Yeah, like in terms of like media, in terms of producing content, in terms of maybe influencer marketing, all of these services that we provide out there. We started from basically somewhere. Malaysian built a company, and we hope that that can be remembered by the Malaysians out there as well. eventually. Hopefully in the future as well.
Yeah. Thank you again, Chris and Michelle, for being here. I mean, 10 years is a long time and also a short time. In the context of a business, it can go much longer.
Correct.
Sure.
Right? Yeah, who knows how big it grows.
Yeah,
Or everything started somewhere.
Every day is a new thing.
Everything is new thing. I guess that's also a beauty about being in the media industry where things are not so dry. So things are constantly changing, new platforms, new type of content.
Yeah.
Whether they're like in logistics or something, in a shipping company, or in engineering, producing oil or something. No more oil. Making oil myself.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the industry itself, it evolves very fast. And then by its nature, it's a creative industry.
Yeah.
So you're always doing new things.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Right. Which is like fun, I suppose. I think it draws a lot of talent naturally, this space. Right. But yeah, I mean, I hope you guys keep growing and
Thank you. I wish the
big-
same for you guys as
Yeah.
well. I think we are almost at the same age, organizational age.
Yes. Yeah, started around. We were 11 years old, so just slightly. Slightly.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we also learned of, but that's during when we haven't incorporated it.
Right.
So during the back end days,
You
still in the basement.
could have been an event company. You're so close.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much again, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Thanks.
you.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting to the end of the episode. If you like this, follow us or hit the subscribe button. It will help us bring on more amazing guests and makes the whole show better for you. So thanks again and see you in the next one.